All right, hello, welcome to another quick one from IT Fundi. And as you can see, the question is, how fast is your website? How do you know how quick your website is? Where do you get metrics? How do you get to know what's happening? How does it make sense to you? How fast is your website? A question that I would come and put to you today. Now, we'll be discussing some very interesting things on this topic. And we'll start with page speed insights. Now I'll pick one of any web pages that we can see. I can choose maybe BBC. Let's see bbc.com and see how fast that is. And then we'll discuss a few metrics. So you already have some from a previous search, but then we can analyze real quick and then we'll see how fast the page is. Like you've seen, that was pretty snappy. Of course, the diagnostics are still loading down there. And you can see all these figures of LCP, INP, CLS, content, this FCP, and all these very fancy terms. But we just want to see some statistics here. So they are giving you the page speed insights both on mobile and on desktop, and you see it's pretty fast, although the diagnoses are not that fast. But yeah, we can see here that it's been given a ranking of 67%. We're using a website called Page Speed Insights, and there are some metrics that they base on for this. And you can see, yeah, they went through, there's a trim up that they used, and maybe you can see basically what they used to analyze. But we won't go so much into that. Basically, what we want to look out for is when we go to this website, it's called How to Optimize Your Website and to have your content load well. There is a recommendation here, and I'll just scroll to that. It's called, so we are asked, the question here is, what is a good largest contentful page paint? What is it in the first place? Now, we base on Google, Chrome, and Google in general because they have the biggest market share of browsers. That's around 68%. And of course, when you look at other players like Brave browser, when you look at Microsoft Edge, which are based on the Chromium project, they do have and follow some of these metrics. So we are told here that the good metric would be around 2.5, and anything beyond 4 would be poor. And as we've seen here from the page insights, we've seen an LCP of 1.2 milliseconds. So this is good, it's in green. Then we've seen that and all these other metrics. It takes a bit of reading to really understand, but what you want to look out for is this is the recommendation, and we are told that is good if it's less than 2.5. So let's look at what does this mean. What are all these things? So when you go to there's some information that's provided here, some resources. I'll put the links in the article. In the description below so that you can have a look. But we're told that LCP, in simple terms, reports the render time of the largest image text block of video visible in the viewport relative to when the user first viewed the page. And that basically describes LCP. So it's basically the time it takes for these big pieces of video to load. That is really simplistic. Of course, they go into detail there. Then FCP. It's the time from when the user first navigated the page to the part where the content is rendered on the screen, and then you can also see this other information. And what CLS is, a burst of measure of the largest burst of layout that scores every expected layout. You realize some of these metrics are really more or less intricate, and what we look at usually what we want is numbers. And when they talk about interaction, INP, some of these you can see are already here, and TTFB, and so on. So what you really want is when you use this page, what the purpose of the video is here basically is for you to get an appreciation of what these values actually mean. But I won't stop there. I want us to test out something. So this is the BBC website. I'll open this. I'll go to this. And as I load that, when you go to inspect, you'll be able to see this bit over here. And when you go to network, whenever you refresh this page, you can see a request is made, and here there are some time stamps that are seen here, and you can see how quickly this page loaded and which pieces of content loaded when. So this is also based on Google Chrome, very powerful developer tools. But then you'll appreciate that these values here try to show you how fast the website was. So you see the essentials loaded at a particular period of time really quick, and then some other stuff progressively loaded based on the media. Like you can see, there is a lot of text, there is media, there is video. Of course, they're in a bit of some news about Trump and the US. But as you can see, all this information here is telling you that it gives you a bit of insight on how your website is loading. Now, for the common day-to-day person, not common that you're not tech savvy, but I'm just simply saying rarely have some people use this. But the important bit about it is it gives you that idea of how your page is performing. And for those who do development, you can really appreciate what this is for. Now, when they talk about a viewport, when you go to this right here, it tries to give you the different dimensions of the devices that you can test with. Of course, you have the S20 Ultra. This is basically what a viewport is when they talk about viewport. And you can see basically what this does based on the device. So when you actually close that out, you're able to see how fast your page is. So the quick insight here is you can really test your device, your website out, and see when you create a website how fast it is. And just look out for a really good scoring on the LCP of less than 2.5, and then the other metrics as well. As you have seen here, as you can read, and you will also do some reading on your own of the different metrics that are followed. But importantly, just need to have it below 2.5. It doesn't mean that if you're in this range, it's too bad. But of course, affecting SEO, and if you want your website to really hold people's attention, it really needs to load fast. And maybe as a last nugget for this, you can, when you set up your website, you're able to look out for how quickly the DNS record is set and propagated. And maybe I'll also add that it's just a nice tool. Sometimes when you set up on Hostinger, all these GoDaddy, Namecheap, and all these other platforms or hosting services, you realize it takes a bit of time for it to propagate. So here it helps you to show you what period it's taking, whether it's propagating or not, and basically just help you to track. I think it's a really nice nugget. Thank you for listening in, and I'll catch you later.